Hey everyone, Eric Meehan here. It is another Message in the Bottle video series. Today is the 18th of September. It is a, a nothing day biodynamically. What do I mean? Well, I'm sure a lot of us observed last night's lunar spectacularness. So when you have a full moon, it does a lot of things biodynamically. And one of the thing mainly for agriculture is that it draws a lot of moisture into the ground. It's a good time for planting root vegetables, especially things like that. Also transplanting vegetables or transplanting plants rather. The point being that there's going to be a wealth of moisture there to immediately start to help germinate any seeds, anything that you need to kind of pop forth. Is that good for drinking wine? No, it isn't. Is it a problem? Again, if you want to have wine, have a nice fruit forward wine, it's wonderful. We'll get back to good wine days soon, I promise. But we'll talk more about the full moon and its effect on biodynamics and wine, etc. later. But just really quick, I want to talk about that. The main topic today is natural wine, because a lot of people keep asking me about this. And I'm going to give you sort of my quick take on it. And then we'll talk about the varying things I'm going to sort of mention in the next couple minutes. But here's the thing. Natural wine is a buzzword. There are so many different forms of what one might call natural wine. When people ask me if I have natural wines, I'm like, I've been selling natural wines for my entire career because I sell wines that are made in a fashion that I would consider naturally. But more importantly to that, in terms of you, the consumer, perhaps going out and looking for wines that you will describe to your wine merchant or whomever as a natural. I'm looking for a natural wine. Do you mean organic? Do you mean not fined or filtered? And again, these are terms that we will hit down the line. Do you mean wine that is made with no sulfites added, which is a thing, but remember that there are naturally occurring sulfites during wine's fermentation. Do you mean having those stripped out? What do you mean by natural? Because of all the blogs and things like this and video series like I'm doing right now, so I feel hypocritical a bit, and people have different ideas of what that term means. So have a backup term for when you're going in to buy a natural wine. Do you mean I am very sensitive, I want a natural wine because I find red wine gives me headaches? Well, probably that's histamines in the skins of that, and because of that, maybe you also would want to, remember we talked about skin contact wines the other day, you might want to avoid orange wines and skin contact whites. Because histamines can be a problem. So maybe you think natural wine means something that doesn't make you sneeze. Maybe you want something that there's no chemical fertilizers or pesticides or anything like that used on. Okay, then that's what you mean. If you want something, maybe you're vegan and you want to make sure that the wine isn't fined using things that would violate the vegan diet. Okay. And on and on and on. Does natural wine to you mean some of this unfiltered, cloudier wine that is, a little bit more zesty and uses wild yeast? Okay. There's no wrong answer to it, but I just want you all to understand out there that as a wine retailer, sometimes people are like, okay, I'm going to need more than natural because I've worked with people who make beautiful, pristine, clean, filtered wines that are all done in ways that could or could not appeal to somebody. There's a lot of different ways to do wine making, and a lot of them can be considered natural, and predominantly with, the better wine merchants, the practices of the wine makers that we work with are as natural as they can be, but from there, we need to know what you, the customer, wants in terms of natural, what you're looking for, or whether it's just something you heard about and you'd like more explained about. There you go. We're always happy to talk to you about that sort of thing, not just Bangor Wine and Cheese where I own, but any good wine merchant would be happy to talk to you about what are you really looking for? Do you have health concerns that you need addressed? Do you just want to try something that you read an article about? These are not bad answers. They're great answers. But it will help us if, besides the term natural, you also would have something that you're looking for. And as this video series goes, we'll talk about fining, we'll talk about filtering, we'll talk about sulfites. We'll get to all those things, so keep watching, subscribe, and tell your friends to. And I'll talk to you next time.